If you've ever felt unsure about what's really included in a Carnival cruise or worried that you might forget something important, do not stress. We've all been there. In this video, I'm going to share with you 26 first-time Carnival cruise tips that will leave you feeling completely ready to enjoy your cruise. Let's get into it. All right, tip number 1, don't double tip at the bar. This one confused my husband and I on our very first cruise. When you order drink, gratuities already added. So when the receipt prints out and you see a blank line for additional tip, if you're not paying attention, it's going to look like you need to add something. You don't need to add anything unless you really want to. If your bartender goes above and beyond and you like to give something extra, then just do that. Just knowing this ahead of time will save you some money and any confusion. Tip number 2, make sure you have the proper documents. This one can definitely make or break your cruise. Carnival requires every guest to bring the right travel documents. The safest option is a valid passport that doesn't expire until at least 6 months after your cruise ends. In some cases, for example, if you are leaving from a U.S. port and returning to the same U.S. port, you can use a certified birth certificate plus a government-issued photo ID instead. Also, depending on your situation, where you're going, and who you're traveling with, there may be extra requirements. On our very first cruise, because my last name changed when I got married, Carnival required that I showed my marriage license. And that was fine. But the problem was I could not find my marriage license anywhere. We had completely lost it. It grew legs and walked away. And we had less than 30 days before the cruise. So I had to make an appointment to get a new copy. I also had to miss work to go to the appointment, and then I had to pray that I was going to receive these documents on time. So please do not do what I did and wait till last minute. Double check the Carnival website or talk with your travel advisor to make sure you have all the right documents. Tip number 3, book a hotel the night before your cruise, especially if you are traveling from far away. Now this one is all about peace of mind. Things can and do happen on the way to the port. It could be traffic, flight delays, or car trouble. And if you cut it too close, you are risking missing your entire vacation. I remember a time we were going on a cruise. Our tire blew out on the highway and we only lived 2 hours away from the port. We didn't have any tools to change the tire, so we had to call the road ranger, and we had no ETA. At that time, we were not trying to wait. So we end up signing up for AAA, which is another towing company, and we had to spend $200 just to start the membership. Once they dispatched the driver to get to us, he couldn't even get to us because where we were actually broken down. So finally, the road rangers got to us, and if you've ever encountered a road ranger, there are some safety procedures they do need to do before they help you, like putting up safety cones or directing traffic. So, just to change a tire. Luckily, since we weren't too far away, we did make it in time for the port. But had we had been traveling 4, 5, or 6 hours away, we would have missed the cruise completely. So plan to arrive the night before. That way you can relax and wake up and know that the ship isn't leaving without you. Tip number 4, choose your cabin you want. You don't want to count on an upgrade. Carnival sometimes offers upgrades where you can upgrade from, say, interior to a balcony. But the thing is, those upgrades are not guaranteed. They're offered to lots of other guests too, so your chances are slim. If you book your cabin that you don't really want, hoping for an upgrade, you may end up ruining your first time cruise experience. So if you want a balcony, then book a balcony. If you need midship for less motion, pick a midship. Think of it as investing in your comfort for your entire cruise. Tip number 5, check-in. About 2 weeks before your cruise, you'll be able to check in online. This is where you'll be able to pick your boarding time. The earlier time you choose, the earlier you'll be able to get on the ship, and you can't board before your assigned time. You'll also set up your spending account for any purchases on board and print your luggage tags. If you are traveling with friends and family and you want to board together, be sure everyone checks in around the same time so you can pick the same boarding window. Tip number 6, you want to pack enough clothes and make sure they are the right ones. When you are cruising the Caribbean, for example, you want to bring your swimsuits, cover-ups, light breathable outfit. You also want to pack a sweater or a light jacket because the ship's air conditioning can feel really cold and the deck gets really windy at night. You'll also want at least a pair of closed-toed shoes since excursions may require them and other activities. And for your dressier nights, you want to skip the heels. Get yourself some wedges or some neutral color sandals so that it'll match all the outfits that you've packed. On my very first cruise, I packed nothing but sleeveless outfits and I froze the entire time. So I remember we walked all around the ship trying to purchase a sweater and there was just no sweaters. I end up purchasing a scarf instead. And when I tell you, it did not match any outfits that I had. So make sure you pack appropriately. I do have a packing list that I use every single time I cruise and my kids also use. It also includes an outfit planner so that I am organized and I make sure that I don't forget anything. If you're interested, it is in the link below. Carnival also has theme nights, so bring something fun just for those, but don't go overboard. One of my best tips, always pack at least 2 extra outfits, including one in your carry-on. That way you'll be covered no matter what. Tip number 7, bring a tumbler, a lanyard, and luggage tag holders. So these 3 essential items you need to bring. You'll thank me later. So Carnival provides small cups with paper straws, which, they don't hold much and the straws get soggy pretty fast and we don't care for that. But if you have a tumbler, that means your drinks will stay colder. You can keep water throughout the day and stay hydrated. Next is a lanyard. Your sign-in sail card is basically your lifeline on the ship. You will use it to buy your drinks, to get in and out of your cabin, to make onboard purchases. So keeping it in a lanyard means you are hands-free and you don't have to worry about losing it. And the luggage tag holders, they protect the paper tags, which the crew uses to make sure that your bags get delivered to your cabin. If your tag rips off, your luggage could be delayed or even end up in the holding area. I've actually had to go in the back and retrieve a luggage before, and there was about 50 luggages that looked just like mine. So trust me, you don't want to be back there searching for piles of bags while everyone else is at dinner. Tip number 8, decide if you need the Wi-Fi package before you get on the ship. Wi-Fi is not included in your cruise fare, and once you're at sea, you won't have service. Carnival offers different packages, and it's important for you to pick the one that actually fits your needs. To break down the packages, they have the social package, which covers your social media like Facebook, Instagram, and the value package includes social media plus email, news browsing if you want, and it comes with faster speeds. As far as your premium package, it gives you all of that plus streaming, FaceTime, and it is the fastest available on board. Now, even though with the premium package, keep in mind that the ship's Wi-Fi is not the same as being at home. It can be slower and sometimes spotty. Also, it's sold per person. So before you sail, think about how connected you really want to be. Some guests like having Wi-Fi to stay in touch, while others, they take it as a perfect chance to disconnect. Either way, deciding ahead of time will help. Tip number 9, how much cash should you bring? This really does depend on your habits and what you plan to do. So you want to consider taxis if you plan on traveling around, food in restaurants, tips, and shopping. Our rule of thumb is $150 per person per port. Tip number 10, join a Facebook group for your specific cruise. All you have to do is search your ship name and your sailing date, and chances are there's already a group for it. These groups are great to connect with other cruisers before you even set foot on the ship. You can ask questions, share advice, and get real-time updates if anything changes in your itinerary. A lot of groups also organize fun extras like gift exchange, meetups, even group activities during the cruise. So it really does help build that sense of community. Tip number 11, Carnival's main dining room. You can order as many appetizers and desserts as you like, but when it comes to entrees, you're limited to 2. So if you order more than that, each extra entree will cost you $5 and it is automatically charged to your sign-in sale card. Tip number 12, when you board, your check-in luggage won't be delivered to your cabin until later in the afternoon or into the evening. That means anything important needs to stay with you. You want to bring a carry-on bag. You need to keep your documents, your medication, your phone charger, any valuables in your carry-on bag. I also recommend packing a change of clothes so that you're ready if you need to freshen up or change for dinner, just in case your luggage doesn't arrive. Your carry-on is also where you'll need to bring any drinks that you're allowed to bring on board. Carnival allows each guest to bring a 12-pack of soda or juice as long as it is in cans or cartons and not plastic bottles. For alcohol, you may bring one bottle of wine or champagne per adult, up to 750 milliliters, but no bottled waters. There are more drinks that you can bring on board. You just have to check the website or with your travel advisor for the full list. Tip number 13, download the Carnival Hub app. It's going to show all your events, your activities, your shows happening on board so that you never miss a thing. You can check the menus, you view your dining times, even reserve specialty restaurants right from your phone. For a small fee, you can unlock a chat feature. This lets you message family and friends on the ship without needing the Wi-Fi. Everybody would need to pay for the feature in order for it to work. Another feature is you can keep an eye on your onboard account. This is part of the Carnival Hub app, so you'll be able to make sure there's no surprises at the end of your cruise. On my very first cruise, I did not download the app ahead of time and I had to rely on the paper schedule. The problem was I never carried it around, so I missed out on half of the activities I wanted to do. So the app makes it so much easier for you to plan your day and actually enjoy everything the ship has to offer. Tip number 14, put your phone in airplane mode. As soon as the ship sails away from the port, your phone is going to start searching for a cell tower. And by doing that, it's going to start roaming. When it roams, it's going to start adding charges into your bill. The easiest way to avoid that is to switch your phone to airplane mode as soon as you board the ship. You don't have to worry. You'll still be able to connect to the ship's Wi-Fi and use the Carnival app and even message your family and friends on board if you decide to pay for the chat feature. So just make it part of your boarding routine. When you step on the ship, switch to the airplane mode and then connect to the ship's Wi-Fi. Tip number 15, prepaid your gratuities. Gratuities are what support the crew, not just your room steward or the dining room staff you see every day, but also the behind the scenes workers who makes your cruise run smoothly. You can choose to prepay your gratuities before you're sailing or have them added daily to your onboard account. On our very first cruise, I didn't prepay and I regretted it. At the end of the trip, it did show up as a whole new bill on my sign-in sale account, and that was not a fun way to end the trip. So prepaying just takes that stress away and it means one less thing to worry about. Now, some cruisers do choose to remove gratuities and tip in cash instead. So, just know that if you decide to do that, you will have to go to guest services on your very last day to have it removed, and you will be facing long lines. So either way, it's important to understand how it works and to plan ahead. Tip number 16, don't use your debit card in port. When you are in port, which is your destination, you want to avoid using your debit card because it puts you at a higher risk for fraud or skimming. And unlike a credit card, that money comes straight out of your account. So if something happens, it takes much longer for it to get it back. A great hack I've learned from another cruiser is using the envelope system. Before heading off to the ship, separate a set of cash into envelopes for each port. That way they stay on budget and they avoid overspending. And if anything were to happen, they don't lose all of their money. Shout out to Zaire. Tip number 17, what's not included in your cruise fare. Yes, your cruise price does cover your cabin, most meals in the dining room, the buffet, entertainment, and plenty of activities, but there are some things that you'll want to budget extra for. These things include your gratuities, which can be prepaid or billed to your account, specialty dining restaurants, alcoholic beverages, your specialty coffees, excursions off the ship, Wi-Fi package, spa treatments, casino, photos, and of course, travel insurance. On our very first cruise, we honestly didn't know what was included and what was not. We didn't think twice when we ordered our professional photos that they took. Let's just say that our final bill at the end of the trip was a wake-up call. Since then, we always plan ahead for the extras that we really want to do and then skip the ones that we don't. Tip number 18, pre-purchase everything before your cruise. One of the smartest things that you can do is make your cruise smoother and save yourself some money. So you want to pre-purchase as much as possible before you even step on the ship. Now, this reason is because when you book things in advance, you'll often find discount prices compared to waiting until you're on board. Popular excursions, specialty dinings, spa treatments can and they do sell out quickly. So pre-purchasing guarantees your spot so you won't have to miss out on those experiences that you were most excited about. I'll be honest, there was a time I did wait till I got on the ship to book a couple's spa. And by the time we checked it, it was completely sold out and I was disappointed. So don't do like me. Tip number 19, purchase travel insurance. If there is one thing I recommend for every first-time cruiser, it's this: don't skip travel insurance. I say that because travel insurance, it does give you the peace of mind for the unexpected. On one of our cruises, we actually had a medical emergency that required not only a treatment on board, but a follow-up visit on board as well. So because we had travel insurance, every single dollar we spent was reimbursed. You want to think of it like a safety net. You'll hope that you'll never need it, but if you do, you'll be glad that it's there. Tip number 20, book reservations as soon as you board. Here is something a lot of first-time cruisers don't realize, and there are certain activities that you can't pre-book before your cruise. You can only reserve them once you're actually on board the ship. One example is the boat roller coaster on the Carnival Celebration. It is super popular, and trust me, spots go fast. So if you wait even a day, you may completely miss out. The same goes for certain shows or onboard activities that require reservations. And if you are traveling with kids, you want to head straight to the kids club or the youth program once you board to get them registered. Spots are limited for some of the special activities, so you'll want to secure their place early. Tip number 21, arrive back at the ship at least 1 hour before departure. First time cruisers, it can be a little confusing by the ship time versus port time. The ship time is the same time as the port you embarked from, and it doesn't change, while the port time is the local time at the destination you are visiting. So if your phone automatically updates to port time, you might think you have more or less time than you actually do. See, sounds confusing, right? The best thing to do is to manually set your phone to the ship time when you get on board. This is going to ensure that all of your alerts or your reminders is going to match the ship's schedule. Now, this is important to understand because Carnival will not wait for you. They will leave you. So you want to make sure you get back in time. Tip number 22, let the ship know about your food allergies. If you've got food allergies or any kind of dietary restriction, you want to make sure you let Carnival know right away. The best time to do this is on your first day in the main dining room. So you would want to talk to your maitre d' or the dining room server team. They'll work with the chef to plan out meals for you, and in some cases, you'll even pre-order for the next day so you don't have to stress. Now, it is important to understand that special requests can only be guaranteed in the main dining room. So the buffets and the Lido deck food or your room service can't promise to be completely allergy free. So if you're unsure, always double check and ask questions, ask the chef. Now, it is important to understand special requests can only be guaranteed in the main dining room. Your buffets, the Lido deck food, or room service, they can't promise to be completely safe. So you want to make sure that you always double check before you eat anything. Carnival does have great options available. They do have the gluten-free pizza, pasta, the sandwich bread, hamburger buns, even cake, but you do have to ask for them. Tip number 23, attend the muster drill. Carnival requires every single guest to attend the muster drill. This is very important because you are learning about what you should do and where you should go in the event of an emergency evacuation. Okay, so if you do not do the muster drill, they will find you, they will call for you, and you can even get kicked off the ship if you don't do it. So you want to make sure once you board the ship, you go and do your muster drill. If not, the ship cannot leave. Everybody's accounted for, so don't even try to skip it. They'll know. Tip number 24, go to Elegant Night. Carnival has theme nights, and one theme night is your Elegant Night. This is where they'll ask the guests to dress your best. Now, it doesn't mean you have to wear gowns and suits, but think of a simple black dress or a blouse or slacks for, the men, and or like a collared t-shirt, but no jeans, no khaki shorts. You don't have to, and there is people that don't. As a first-time cruiser, it is a great experience, and it's where people love to take photos and create the memories. So give it a try at least once. Tip number 25, is the cheer package worth it? Is it for you? Well, Carnival offers the cheer package, which is their unlimited drink program. If you are not a big drinker or you just plan on having a cocktail or two during the cruise, then it's probably not worth the cost. But if you plan on drinking alcohol, drinking specialty coffees and fresh juices, energy drinks, sodas, even bottled water throughout the day, then the package can actually save you some money. Here's a quick example. The average cocktail is about $10 to $12. The specialty coffee is about $5 to $6, and bottled water is about $3. So if you normally have about 4 cocktails, about 1 specialty coffee, 2 bottles of water, that's already $59 in drinks for the day. Now, the cheer package costs normally around $65 to $69 if you purchase it before your cruise. On one of my earlier cruises, I thought I wouldn't drink that much, so I did skip the package. By the end of the trip, when I added up all the drinks, the lattes, the waters, I realized I would have actually saved money had I just brought the cheers package in advance. Now, you also want to keep in mind that everyone in your cabin over 21 must buy it if one person does. It has 15 alcoholic drink limit per day, but the non-alcoholic drinks are unlimited. You do save money if you purchase it before your cruise rather than on board. So you decide if this drink package is for you or not. Tip number 26, avoid making any changes to your booking, especially after you paid it in full. There are fees associated if you need to make any changes. If you are not granted PTO, or if you have an emergency and you need to make some changes, understand that there are fees associated with that, and there are hefty fees. So you want to make sure that when you book your cruise, you want to be sure that you're able to get on that cruise, that you have that availability from your job to be able to get on this cruise without going through all these fees. Now that you got the 26 cruise tips out of the way, check out my next video on 14 first-time cruise mistakes that I've made that you need to avoid. I'll meet you there.